Good evening. Welcome to the 12-Man podcast, live on our usual slot, back on Facebook. Not that we ever left Facebook, but you know what I mean. And on Spotify, Amazon, Deezer, all the good spots that you usually listen to us. You got me, Steve Jackson, I'm your host for the evening. Got Mr. John Donovan with us. Evening, JD.
Good evening. You okay?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, fine. Bit laid up at the moment with an injured knee, which means I'll miss the match on Wednesday, sadly. But other than that, I'm okay.
Good. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about your knee a bit more as we go through. But we'll be talking transfers and stuff, so I might as well introduce you to our permanent transfer now. He's been on a few times, so we're going to keep him on by popular demand. Jacob Jervis is with us. Evening, Jacob.
Evening, you okay?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. Welcome to the team.
Cheers.
People have...
Have you?
Go on.
Has he signed a contract?
It's a game by game thing. I've learned. So yes, he's been from popular demand. Get lots of good comments, lots of good feedback from you. So we've kept him on. Plus, people see his posts, etc. He's very knowledgeable. Knows more than me and John combined. So we thought we'd better have some expertise on here. So yes, more than welcome.
Sadly.
But, go on.
I just said, sadly, you're right, he does.
Yeah, he is. He absolutely does. He knows his stuff. But yes, get your comments in, get your thoughts in. We're going to talk the transfer window because we've got no game to review. Borough were given the weekend off because Stoke beat Sunderland in the FA Cup. Good lads. And yeah, we'll talk transfers. Talk about news in the EFL as well. Obviously, a couple of things are going about are happening, and we'll preview the game on Wednesday. Big game against Sheffield United. Trip to Bramall Lane away. So I was going to say you're both all right, but we're going to have to jump straight into this. Come on then, Hoppy, not Matthew Hoppy. Tell us what you've done.
Just a fall at work, and I've ripped a fragment of bone from my knee, which is floating around in my knee at the moment, attached to the tendon from the quadriceps. So it's a bit fat, it's a bit sore, but it'll get sorted out.
Floating around in my knee, that just sounds delightful. No, hopefully get well soon. You will be missed at the game on Wednesday. Because everybody knows who you are. So any champ that gets started in a Borough way, and we all know where it comes from. I know that because I stand next to you so many times. But yes, get well soon, and hopefully you're back on your feet very, very soon. Yes, we'll start with the transfer window. So a lot of incomings, outgoings. People screaming about the same thing. So we'll start with that position, John. We brought in a lot of players. A lot of players went. What's the one position you felt we missed out on that people are obviously screaming about after the game against Sunderland?
For me, it was a central midfielder who would run the midfield, run the game, do lots of dirty work, and then feed the ball onto our attacking midfielders, our creative players, but somebody who would just boss the midfield if we could have got somebody who would boss the midfield and be a little bit nasty at times, stop the opposition when they need to be stopped. Basically, the old archetypal midfield general. I just wish we could have got somebody in the window that would have filled that role and made us stronger in that position.
No, you're absolutely right. It's one of the positions people are screaming about. Jacob, do you want to say the other position we missed out on?
Well, for me, it was a centre-back. I think that was probably my main one, or the most important one to me. And I feel, without going into it too much, we replaced one of our better centre-backs with our worst centre-back. So, that's just how I feel about that one.
Right, neither of you said right back, so that's what a lot of people are screaming for. But yes, you both make absolutely compelling arguments. We'll start with the centre half then, Jacob. Obviously, you mentioned George Edmondson came in on a free, not on a free, but a little bit of money on a permanent deal. Matt Clark did leave. No one else was brought in. We're still, we don't know what's happened with Darrell Lenihan. Do you feel that we're in a weaker position now? Because I certainly do. I'm a big fan of George Edmondson, but I do feel like we are in a weaker position. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think Clark was really good at the beginning of the season. He got a little bit of an injury. I felt like he kind of adapted his own game to play Michael Carrick's way, if that's what you want to call it. He played some good switches of the ball. He defended pretty well. Knew when to clear his lines. And it's a shame to see him go. I mean, I understand why he left because he wasn't getting much game time. But for me, he should have been in the team after his injury a lot more than he was. Edmondson, for me, he had a good maybe first 5 or 6 games. When he first joined, I was quite impressed. And since then, I think Edmondson's been quite poor. And I was disappointed to see that be the switch from the club. But, we've got to go with it.
Yeah, we do. You're absolutely right. I mean, he did mention over the weekend, he put some, well, he didn't put something in the Gazette, but you know what I mean. Didn't have an interview saying the uncertainty behind his future was a little bit behind what's been going on. Obviously, back of his head, he wasn't quite sure what was going on. Do you buy that as an excuse in a way? Do you feel that could have influenced why he was not as good as he was when he first joined the club?
I'm not sure. Possibly, it's it's something we won't know. But what I will say is that after he'd signed for us and got the nod over Dale Fry, controversially in the last game, I don't think you'd think he was more settled then, and I don't think he had a great game. So I don't know if that's the reason, maybe, but I'd like to think professional would just be able to turn up on a Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever the game is, and get on with it. But maybe, you don't know.
John, do you agree? Disagree?
Disagree slightly. I thought Edmondson had a great first half of the season. I would say more than 6 or 7 games. He was steady. He was regular. And right recently, his games dropped off a little. But then again, the other centre half position. There's only Dale Fry who's sort of like gone in the last few games since he came back from injury. Even Rav van den Berg, he's looked shaky. He hasn't looked a player that picked up 2 Player of the Year awards last season. So I was pleased Edmondson came back purely and simply because I'm hoping that he can regain the form that got him so many plaudits for the first half of the season. It's obviously a key area for us because we do tend to start a lot of our moves from the back 4 line. So it's vital that we can get our centre halves to improve their game. Because it's in that area where we've been handing gilt-edged chances to the opposition.
Yeah, it's a position we need to strengthen on without a doubt. To say we tend to stick to our passing out from the back. It's not a case of, we've got a keeper in that we saw against Sunderland did resort to going a bit long, and his kicking was superb. To be quite honest, he didn't really fluff his lines. I thought he did well for a debut, Mark Travers, but. You are right. They've got to be more comfortable on the ball. Do you feel though we've missed something not replacing Matt Clark or even keeping Matt Clark?
Yes, definitely. We've only got really 3 experienced centre halves at the moment. I know we've got other players who can play in centre half, but they're not natural centre halves like Ayling. Houghton's injured, but Houghton could possibly do it if he regains fitness. But to leave us with just 3, and then as a backup to youngster Harley Hunt, it leaves us short. I mean, if we were to change system and play 3 centre halves and 2 forward wing backs, forward thinking wing backs like Ryan, Giles, and possibly Illing Jr. It leaves us absolutely wide open to pick up an injury and then only have 2 centre halves for the rest of the season to rely on. So it's left it short. I thought if we were going to lose, well, we eventually did lose Matt Clark. I thought he would have been replaced, but that wasn't to be, and we can do nothing about it now. But I think, yeah, we are short in that department.
Yeah, we definitely are. I've backed on all season. You should have 2 players for every position, and I do feel like we are short at centre half now. One word answer from both of you. Do you feel like this is the reason why I kept Dijksteel to possibly slap into the centre half position? Is that what you, Jacob?
No, I don't think he'll use him as a centre back. To be honest, I mean, if Dijksteel had to play there, I'm confident he could do a job. But I'm really hoping he's back at right back, pretty sharpish, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll go into that. John, same with you.
No, I don't think he kept him for that reason. But he may have to use him there should that sort of like problem occur. So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, Dijksteel's is he still injured or is he back in training? I must admit I'm not sure. But again, we've got one fit fullback at the moment in Luke Ayling. So I'm hoping that 2 or 3 players can come off the table and boost the squad for the 16 remaining games we've got.
Yeah, we say big 16 games coming. We say we'll go through the 16 games, well, not all of them, but we'll go through it a little bit later on. John, you mentioned about centre mid. You're missing a tough tackling centre mid. Obviously, we are still waiting for Johnny Howson coming back. By the sounds of what is being said in reports, he's down to get back, down to get stuck back in. What we've got, obviously, we've got Howson, we've got Hackney, we've got Morris, we've got Barlasser. 4 midfielders. Do you still, obviously, you still feel that we needed a tougher one? Did you think that one would have to move on for us to bring another one in?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, talk was that Derby were linked with Barlasser, and we were linked with Glenn Kamara, and I think that would have been an ideal fit, if I'm totally honest. But that wasn't to be. He moved. Did he move to Saudi? Did he go to Saudi League? And obviously we can't compete with the riches that he'll receive over there. But yeah, I think midfield is a key area, and I wanted to see a tough man in there, uncompromising, take no prisoners type of centre half who can win the ball, stop the opposition playing, and when he wins the ball, just lay it off the others. Quite simply, do a simple basic job. But again, we didn't get that player in, so we're going to have to deal with that with the players that we've got. And like you said, fingers crossed, Johnny Howson can add to the numbers that we've got to see from in the field. Because it's a key area that we need strengthening in.
Yeah, definitely. Jacob, I'll bring you on this. It's very doom and gloom so far, as we talk about signs, but it does pick up, don't we? When we go a bit further forward, it will pick up. Midfield-wise, Jacob, do you feel that Carrick is sticking all his faith now in Hackney and Morris being the 2 that are going to be leading us in the next 16 games now?
Yeah, I think if them 2 are fit, they're probably going to play every game. But obviously, the Championship, the amount of games you play, just say that both of them are going to start 16 games in a row is a tough ask, isn't it? And sadly, we're a weaker team with Barlasser in it. That's just my opinion. So yeah, we're going to have to be a bit lucky on the injury front. a bit smarter, maybe with freshness, training, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, hopefully them two can stay fit because they complement each other the best out of what we've got definitely at the club.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. It's they do play well together. You are right about Barlas, and it does weaken our midfield. We do miss a player that goes in with a bit of brute force in a tackle. I think Hackney overdoes it when he tries to do it. He's better staying on his feet. But we do need someone that is going to put the tackle in and be confident they're going to come out with the ball at the other end, win them 50-50s. I suppose be a leader in the middle of the park. I know, Hackney's given that responsibility a little bit, and he is starting to obviously live up a bit to the bill of being a leader in the middle of the park. He is barking the orders about, but he's still only young. He's still learning. So we need someone. For me, we need someone there to fill that gap. Right, let's get off the doom and gloom. Right, let's go a bit more positive. I know we lost Latte Laugh up top, which was the biggest, non-secret in football. Everybody knew he was going. We just need to know where and when. But John, the players we brought in, you can't really complain, can you? Illing Jr. coming in on the wing. Obviously, the big sign up front here, Nacho coming in on loan from Sevilla. They're not bad replacements, are they? Not bad options to have going forward in a game where you may be chasing the game in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean Morgan Whittaker also.
Yeah.
I liked the look of Illing Jr. when he come on, and I I'm hoping getting a run in the team because of sadly Ben Doak's sideline for a while. I'm hoping that we see the best of him. I mean, he was playing top flight football. Was it in France? Yeah. And Italy, sorry, that's right, yeah, Bologna. And Champions League football, like regularly. So, I'm hoping that the championship, although it's probably a lot more robust, I'm hoping that he can shine for us. I like the look of him when he came on, so I'm hoping he does well. Iheanacho, I don't know. I don't know how that will turn out. I'm hoping it's a very, very good buy. But one thing we've got to get from him is a little bit of fight, a little bit of muscle. And I'm hoping he's up for it. Obviously, he'll supplement sort of Conway. So when you think about it, Whittaker, Conway, Illing Jr., Iheanacho, that's not too bad. That's not too bad for us to choose from, And so, yeah, let's try and sort of work to the strength of the new players to come in, and hopefully it can help us get improved results.
No, you're absolutely right. It's a promising front line. I mean, as in there, Bergzorg's already here. Finazaz in there. That front four is looking quite strong. What's your opinion on the front four now, Jacob? Obviously, there's a lot of options now we can play. We can potentially play top two, if you really want to go that way. Number 10 has got a couple of options now. We're not completely relying on Finazaz. What's your take on the front lot now? I think we've strengthened massively in that area.
Yeah, I think it's again. I think Mike Carrick's been backed again by Steve Gibson. I think on the whole we've got a really good looking squad now. Some really good firepower options and attacking players. Carrick wanted Edmondson. Carrick wanted Giles. We've got these players back that he wanted, and now there's no excuse for me. We've got to get in the playoffs, so it's a huge failure. So I'm hoping we kick on, and now he's got the players at his disposal. We make a few more subs earlier, like we did in the Sunderland game, and you know what? It did make a difference. You could see if we sub a little bit earlier, people can have an impact, like Illing Jr. But yeah, we've got some good players at the top end of the pitch, and we've got to kick on now.
Do you think he's gone for the method of we'll just outscore the team in front of us? Without sounding a bit obvious, don't worry about what happens at the back. We're comfortable bang 2 or 3 in.
I hope not, because
Yeah.
it's possibly the worst thing you could do, especially in the Championship, because like Sunderland, we scored 2 at home and still didn't get the result. So we can't rely on outscoring teams. You to be a successful team, you've got to have both. And if not, in my opinion, being solid at the back is actually more important. So yeah, I hope that's not the idea or the way forward, to be honest.
Do you agree with that, John?
I totally agree with that, because you see the confidence drain out of our team when we go behind, and that's again down to the fact that I look to see which players on that pitch are trying to lift everybody's head, and I just have a look around and I just don't see it. So I can't for 1 minute think that he's thinking like that. That it doesn't matter what they do, we'll score 1 more than them or 2 more than them, because it's a dangerous game. And us as supporters, we've all seen the fact that if we go behind, it's not very often that we end up winning games. The total opposite from when we go in front, by the way. How many points did you say? We lost 20 or 24 something points from winning position. We haven't gained that many from a losing position. So I hope he doesn't follow that strategy.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's why I thought I'd pose a question, because we seem to be more successful when we do get that first goal. Is that the type of way he's thinking? I need to get the first goal in games now, just to nip it in the bud and move on from there.
Well, stats show that if we do get the first goal, we've dropped so many points. I mean, the last one that I can remember was obviously Sunderland, Portsmouth before that. So I don't think I don't think that us taking the lead is guaranteed of us ending up winning that game. Sadly, it should be. We should have so much sort of positivity if we take the lead, but it just doesn't seem to pan out like that. And I'm hoping, this break that we've had, there's been a few meetings, a few frank and open discussions, and we see an improvement in our recent form.
No, you're absolutely right. It's we need to use this as a reset. You go into the next, I suppose, the last third of the season, all guns blazing, go for game 1 and start from there, because it's not been a successful couple of months, to be quite honest. What is it, Jake? Was it 2 wins in 12 or something like that?
I think it's 3, and is it 3 and 14 now? 3 and 13 or 14, I think.
It's not great, is it? It's not a great stat to have above you.
And that's mad. We're still with our game in hand, we're still in touch at the top 6. That's mad how we can be still up there and in with a chance of top 6 after such appalling run of results, really. But the fact of the matter is, we are there. We still do have a chance. We've got 16 games to climb into that top 6 and make sure we stay there until May. So yeah, I'm hoping that we see an upturn in our current form.
Well, does that show, Jacob, how poor this league is? Obviously, the fact we are still in there with such a poor run of results that we've had.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm maybe inconsistent's the word. I don't know whether it's poor. I think what it is you've got a top 4 that are pretty consistent, don't concede many goals, win the home games, and then the rest of the league, to be honest, is up and down. As as now we've seen the teams around us have all dropped points this week, and now we've got a chance to get back in there. So yeah, I think all the teams apart from the top 4, like I said, they're all on the same level. The rest of them, any of them will beat each other, and any of them will lose to each other. So we're in that group. We've just got to hope we come top of the inconsistent group.
Yeah, I mean, you look down as far as Millwall, and Millwall and all the teams above are quite capable of getting into the top six. So it's going to be a dogfight, and that's what we've got to do. We've got to fight, and I think that that's been lacking in our performances. The actual fight, you know. So I'm just hoping that we turn it around, because I like Michael Carrick, but if we don't get in the top six, like Jacob said, it'll be failure. He's been backed heavily in the summer. He's been backed heavily in January, and if he doesn't make top six, then I fear the worst for him. We'll see how the remainder of the season goes.
Yeah, I'm the same as you. I fear the worst from if it doesn't turn out the way it should do, with the quality and the strength and depth that the manager has now. I mean, you mentioned there about the inconsistent league kind of thing. It goes down from West Brom all the way to Oxford, unbelievably, 17th, all within 10 points for each other, which is huge. They say, to have so many teams within 10 points for each other just shows a couple of wins gets you within touching distance of them playoff spots. I can't believe I'm even mentioning Oxford. Shows how well they've done this season. They've had a really good season, and fair play to them. But it just shows how inconsistent it is, this league, and how you've just got to string them results together. And if you don't string them together, you're going to be dragged back in, or you're going to be dragged away from it all. And the last thing we want to be doing is away from that pack, because that could really sink us. But we have had a good break. We are going into Wednesday's game. Just before I leave the transfer window, answer from the pair of you, because it's been argued, it's been spoke about. I'll start with you, John. Transfer window, has it been a success, yes or no?
A part success. In certain areas of the pitch, others we've missed out. We've missed out on taking the chance to strengthen. But I was asked to write about this with others in Craig John's fans panel, and I give my score as 6.5 out of 10 for the transfer window. I thought that mark was fair, because I didn't think it was the best window, but it certainly wasn't the worst. Like I said, strong signings in certain areas of the pitch, but missed out in others.
Jacob, same question to you.
Yeah, if I could give it a score of 10, it would be probably about 6 for me as well. We've got some nice attacking additions. Obviously, it's disappointing to lose Latte. It would take, this is nothing on Iheanacho, but you wouldn't have swapped him for Latte. But if you're going to lose Latte, we found a pretty good replacement, hopefully. He's certainly got pedigree, nearly 200 Prem games behind him. It's disappointing to lose Latte. But, we're not getting another centre back in. But again, we've got enough there. We've got enough there to get in the playoffs, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I say, like Andy Johnson's just put on Facebook, 48 points to play for. I feel we've got enough. We've got players coming back in as well. We can't forget that. The players are coming in. Conway obviously made his reappearance back from injury against Sunderland for the last quarter of the game. He'll see more action as the weeks go on. Illian Jr., we say, the more he gets used to the surroundings and gets back to full match fitness, because I believe he did have I know he's on the bench a couple of times from Bologna, but he didn't play as much as he wanted to. So, he'll fit in nicely. There's plenty to be positive about. Some have gone online and happily said, we're nowhere near it this season. That's us done. I wouldn't write us off just yet. We're not finished yet. Don't worry. So, with that in mind, we do have 16 games left. Game 31 starts Wednesday. Sheffield United away. I spoke to Sheffield United podcast yesterday. they're a bit fearful about Wednesday. They say they didn't feel that their performance against Portsmouth was to the standard they were expecting. John, start with you. We have some ups and down visits to Bramall Lane. We've had some, big defeats. The 4-1 defeat a few seasons ago, the 3-1 win a couple of seasons ago that we had. It's one of them places, isn't it? It can be intimidating, but if you get stuck in and ride the wave of them first 20 minutes, you can get into this team, can't you?
You can do, but I mean, you look at their home record, and it's superb. They've conceded only 9 goals at home all season in the league. They've only lost 2. And like Jacob said earlier in this podcast, it's your home form that gets you up the table. It's a home form that sort of is the bedrock of a promoting or playoff push. And ours has been poor. Theirs has been absolutely superb. So it's not going to be an easy night. But we go there with hope. And we just hope that we see a spirited, committed performance from the Borough. And there's no reason why we can't get something out of the game.
No, do you agree with that, Jacob? I agree with that in an extent. You see, we've got the players to do that. I know Sheffield United, strengthened big time, but yeah, I agree with that. Would you?
Yeah, I mean, I watched quite a bit of their game against Portsmouth, and Portsmouth played really well. Missed about 3 open goals. Create some big chances that hopefully we could take. Fingers crossed if we create them. But Sheffield United, it wasn't a fluke that they played badly and won. They've done it plenty of times this season. Like Burnley have, like Sunderland have. They've got a knack of they don't have to be at the best to win games, and sadly that's something we don't seem to have figured out yet. We generally have to play very, very well to win a game. So sadly, they're a well-drilled team, and Wilder's got them where like I said, they don't have to be at the best to pick up points. So we've got to take our chances, and they've always got a goal in them, and they're pretty good at keeping teams at bay. So it will be a really tough game. But yeah, like I said, we can create enough chances to win the game. It's just whether we take them or not.
Yeah, it's all about results. Sometimes you have to sacrifice performances just to get the 3 points. I mean, we remember Karanka. His home record in our promotion season was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you look at Burnley. Their fans are giving Scott Parker a lot of stick, but we'd swap places with them in the table, wouldn't we? Looking to get promoted automatically. It's about getting results. However, you can. If that's fortunately brilliant, if that's in a swashbuckling, attacking, aggressive manner, even better. But the bottom line is it's about results. And Sheffield have been getting them at home. They've been driving them out at home, even when performances haven't been pretty, and we haven't. Our home form is not good, and that's where the difference lies. I think we're about 10th in the Championship home form table. That's just not good enough. It's not good enough, and it's a big part. It's a big part of the reason why we are struggling with a gaggle of other teams to scrape in the top 6.
No, you're absolutely right. It's not great where we are. It's we shouldn't be in the position where we are. We've talked about the points we've dropped. We've talked about the position we've been in during the season. We should be nowhere near, scraping to get into the playoffs. We should be kicking, not towards the top end, but I'd say, in between where West Brom and Sunderland are. Comfortably sat in the playoffs, not worrying about what's behind. Hopefully praying we put something together to try and catch the teams in front. But we are scraping at the moment. We are scrapping. We are struggling a little bit. Results don't lie. With that in mind, John, last season went through this. I know injuries played a lot of part to this. We went to 3 at the back and kept everything tight and went forward with that. Is this another opportunity to do that, or do you think we're pretty much setting our ways of 4 at the back and move forward with that?
Well, like I said earlier, I don't mind us playing 3 at the back with 2 full-backs pushing on. But if we do it now with only 3 fit centre-backs, we leave ourselves wide open. But I don't know whether it will be a tactic that Michael Carrick employs in future games. If we can get Dijksteel back on the pitch quickly, and if we can get Johnny Howson back on the pitch quickly, that'll allow Luke Ayling and Johnny Howson as potential players within that centre 3 should the need arise, should we pick up injuries. But at the moment, I think it's risky business with only 3 fit centre halves.
Will you not consider pushing Ayling Jr. to a wing back? I know he's played that position before.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned that earlier, but at the moment, we've got 3 fit centre halves, and I don't think that I would like to risk that. Playing a 3 at the back and Giles and Ayling Jr. If we had cover, if we had another 1 or 2 who could play in the centre half position, like I said, like Ayling, like Howson when he's back, then fine. It's not their natural position, but they have played there in the past and did a job. So when Dijksteel is back, which allows Ayling to go in there, or when Howson is back, then maybe we could adopt that formation. But I wouldn't go for it at the moment.
With that in mind, then, Jacob, obviously, I think with the collective, we probably are sticking to the 4 at the back. Is this the time now to bring Dale Fry back in, put him alongside Rav?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I could pick the team, I would be playing like a 3-4-2-1. I think for the game at Sheffield United. Hoping Dijksteel was back. I'd like to see a back 3 of Dijksteel, Fry, and Rav. To be honest, if it was possible. But yeah, I think Fry's got to play. I mean, I didn't understand why he was on the bench against Sunderland. So hopefully, he's back in.
Yeah, it's something we said. We were a bit perplexed by why Dale Fry was left on the bench when we had, the chance to put him back in. Local lad, he knows exactly what kind of game it's going to be. But yeah, and for me, despite what others do say, he probably is one of our best centre halves. He really is. But it was a nice partnership with Vandenberg as well. So a bit of a shame. But go on, then. You said 3-4-2-1. Name the team then.
If possible, if all was possible, I'd go Travers in goal. I'd play back 3, like I said, Fry, Rav, and Dijksteel. On the left, I'd have Giles. On the right, I'd have Ayling Jr. I'd have Hackney and Morris in midfield. I'd have Bergzog and Whitaker in the 10, and I'd start Ian Acho up top.
It's not a bad team, that is it, John?
No, it's all right. Yeah, that's all right. It's a good shape.
It shows the strengths and depth as well we've got. I say you haven't mentioned Finney's in there, Tommy Conway. It shows the players we can bring off the bench if we really need to. So there's options. There's chances when players start getting back into the squad and start getting fit again. So fingers crossed we can put something together and. We're not mourning on for the next few weeks like we have been, unfortunately. But with that in mind, I'll start with you, John. Big game Wednesday, huge game. Score prediction and anytime goal scorer.
1-1. Hayden Hackney.
Okay.
A Dally special, that wasn't it?
It is a Dally special. Let's say the guy I spoke to, Chad, from the Red Half of Sheffield podcast. He said 0-0, and I was like, I don't know about that. But that's what he went for. Jacob, go with you.
I'll go 2-2. And Whittaker to score.
Okay. Whittaker gets first goal for the club. That'd be good. Everybody's going to be looking at me now going, you've got to project a win now. The other two have got a draw. But I had in mind, my head, a draw. I probably had 1-1 in my head, but I'll go a bit different, obviously, just to try and spread the cost. I'll go 2-1 win. I think we could, if we wanted to, nick it. And to put one over Wild would be superb. And I'd say Hayden Hackney to get a goal for his goal against Sunderland was superb. Give him a bit more confidence going forward. And hopefully Morris is back on his game. He didn't have the greatest game against Sunderland. It gives Hackney the chance to go forward. So, yeah, I'll go 2-1 and Hayden Hackney to get a goal. And obviously, before we do chat again next Monday, we've got Watford at home. Quickly chat about that, because that's another huge game. They've just been to the Stadium of Light and got a 2-2 draw. Big result for them. They're still in the fight, John. We're in a tough run of games at the moment, aren't we? So we've got Sheffield United, we've got Watford, we've got Bristol City, we've got Stoke. I know Stoke are fighting at the other end of the table, but it's 4 tough games to end off February, isn't it?
It's 16 tough games, but yeah, I get your point. The most important thing is to not lose ground on your rivals. So obviously, I want us to win on Saturday. But if we could not get beat, I'd reluctantly accept that. Yeah, like I said, don't let Watford jump above us. Stay in the mix. I'm hoping we get the win, but just stay in the mix as long as we can. So yeah, I mean, Watford nearly snatched it at Sunderland, but they were sort of pegged back late on, and possibly that clown who holds the corner flag should have given Sunderland a victory in added time, but he failed to do so. They come away from Sunderland with a point, which was good for us, good result for us. That they didn't get all 3, and that Sunderland only got 1. Like you say, run a tough games, but actually 16 games have been tough. It's our future this season. We need to be top 6. So let's go into Wednesday in a positive frame of mind. I agree with Andy Johnson, like he said in the comments, 48 points to play for. Let's try and pick up as many as we can. Let's try and improve our home form, starting with a win against Watford on Saturday.
Exactly. 16 tough games, Jacob. You ready for this run-in?
Yeah. Look, hopefully we play much better than we have been, and we can have a positive end of the season. It won't be easy, like you said, the games we've got coming up here, the next 4, we've got to get kind of 7 points or something like that out of them, hopefully, at least. But yeah, Watford, quite a physical side, quite like Cleverly, mixes game up a bit. Like we've seen in the away game, they're not too bothered about having the possession. They've got some big lads, long throws, set pieces, kind of thing. So it's a game where we'll have to match them with the battle. We have a little bit more quality than them, but another tough game. They're all tough games.
Exactly. Bring it on. They say, hopefully we'll speak again next Monday, and we're in positive mood. We've had 2 great results. We can kick on from there, because God, we do need them. We really do need them now, because this is where managers and players start really earning their paycheck. So this is where the pressure starts. So yeah.
I mean, I'd urge every Borough fan, to get behind us. We all want the same thing, surely, irrespective of what you see on social media. I mean, there's been some absolutely disgraceful attitude towards individual players and the club and the team in general. You know, almost mocking the players, mocking the club from so-called Borough fans. I think that's disgraceful. None of us are pleased with how we've been recently, but we're not going to get out of it unless we all pull in the same direction. And like I said, those few on social media who are taking the mick, well, are you really Borough fans? Is that it? Is that what you're resorting to?
No, some thrive in watching the team fail. Unfortunately, you know that's the way that's the way they move, and you know everybody's entitled to their opinion. I fully get that, but sometimes you know there's an agenda that people have got, and I'm not a fan of like you are. Why beat people more down than they should be?
I understand opinions, of course. I mean, it's all about opinion, about individual players, about team selection. It's all about opinions. But surely you don't mock your own players and your club just to get a few silly likes. It's sad, absolutely sad.
Yeah, I don't know why people get the time for it, to be honest. I really don't, but you know, that's where people live, and you know, we feel free. But yeah, we'll speak again next Monday. We say 2 big games coming. Hopefully, we get at least 4 points. Will do me. Because another topic we will be speaking out next Monday will be season ticket prices. Because the first season tickets do go on sale on the 18th, which is a week tomorrow. So the prices will definitely be out. Looks like they probably are going to go up again. But we'll see how bad it is. We'll see what the price is. Hopefully, you know, we're not talking about season ticket renewals on the back of 2 defeats because that'll just really won't work. But yeah, just like that, we are done. It's you know.
Steve, are we giving our predictions for Watford? Seeing as though
we can do. Yeah. I won't say scorer wise. I mean, we'll put them out a bit later in the week. Obviously, we don't know what Wednesday's going to bring. But if you can give me a score prediction, that'd be absolutely fine.
2-1 Middlesbrough.
Okay. Jacob, call you.
2-0 Borough.
Good lad.
3-1 Borough. There you go. I'll give you a goal scorer later on in the week. Just keep an eye on our socials. We'll sort that out. But one more thing before I go, John. The club did release there is an initiative, isn't there, on Saturday? Something for obviously to involve Michael Carrick, bringing your old football boots to the game, donating them.
You're going to have to enlighten me. I haven't looked on the website, so I haven't seen
that. 2 seconds. I mean, I'm doing this on absolute off the hook now, off the cuff. Here we go. Just going to bring
off
it
the
up.
Hook.
Yeah, off the hook. Yeah, honestly.
I've put you on the hook by not knowing what you're talking about.
There we go. MFC Foundation did release some. I thought I'd seen it today. They're appealing for Borough fans to donate any unwanted football boots this Saturday against Watford. We have particularly need for sizes 7, 8, 9 and 10. So there you go. If you've got some football boots kicking about that you don't have any use for anymore.
I've got a bag full of Charlotte and the Obi's boots. Pristine.
Pristine. Well, so there you go. You know, meet John. You know, he'll be donating his boots by the sounds of it. But yes, if you've got a size of 7 to 10, they say they're the sizes that the foundation's looking for. Please donate. They'll go to a good charity. I know Michael Carrick's involved in that charity as well, so you'll have you might be able to meet him. You know, he might pop down for 10 minutes before the game. So there you go. But I thought I'd mention that just to fit it in. Even though you put me absolutely on the spot to get that information out.
Sorry.
It's fine, don't worry. But we got there in the end. So, but we will finally leave it there. John, Jacob, thank you very much for speaking this week, joining me. Hopefully we'll speak again next week. A bit more positive. A couple of results coming we're happy with, and people listening, liking, subscribing, commenting, you know, thank you for giving you time to listen to us waffle on. And yeah, we'll talk again next week. Hopefully we'll be in a better position. And And yeah, we go again. So arrivederci, up the